Welcome to the California Stories podcast from My Wine Radio. Hear California Stories each hour following our 15-minute music sweeps. We have cool things to do, fun places to see, and sometimes just great trivia about California. California Stories on My Wine Radio. In this episode, hear about a Campbell company that makes your wine barrel dreams come true. A Y&T rocker that's wrapping up his winemaking career for now. The return of Oakland's first Fridays. Napa's St. Supéry is celebrating everyday heroes. A new restaurant in LA called Fanny's is at the Academy Museum of Motion Pictures. And the Mount Rose Ski Resort plans a $7.5 million terrain expansion with a new express lift. Blame it on the pandemic, but Meniketti Wines, the second act of Dave Meniketti of the heavy metal band Y&T and his wife Jill, is coming to a close. This is from the Mercury News. The Menikettis had been planning to open a tasting room in Saratoga or Campbell, but those dreams were dashed by the pandemic and fires, and they made the painful decision to not make wine anymore. Winemaking may seem a strange sideline for a rock musician who credits his longevity to avoiding various vices that others fall prey to in the rock and roll world, but Dave Meniketti says he is the last surviving member of the original band that started in Oakland in 1974, and I was the sober, responsible one. I wasn't into partying. We really got into wine by spending time in Europe on tour. In 2001, we went to Italy on vacation and found ourselves drinking the local wines, eating this great food, his wife adds. Friends in the wine biz kept touting Dave's great palate and telling us we should make our own. We're really proud of our vintage. Our winemaker's very talented, and she and Dave had created such excellent wines for us. The Menikettis are offering all their wines at 50% off at menikettiwines.com using the code MERC50. Oakland's vibe is alive with the triumphant return of the First Friday events. This report is from KTVU. For the first time in 18 months, First Fridays recently returned to Oakland, bringing art, music, and culture back to the open streets. Organizers said people loved the event because it is authentically Oakland and that it's been a long road to get the popular event back to uptown Oakland. The city of Oakland once covered some of the costs associated with the monthly event, but this time around, organizers said they had to raise the funds on their own. The First Fridays event covers a 6-block stretch of Telegraph Avenue and draws a large turnout. We keep it real. It has the Oakland vibe, said Sherry Godinez, First Friday's executive director. The live entertainment included a fashion show, a touch of nostalgia with a classic car show, music, and more. Organizers hope the beat goes on for First Fridays. There is relief that this integral part of Oakland is alive once again. St. Supéry Estates are celebrating everyday heroes. Napa Valley Winery's St. Supéry Estates is paying tribute to community volunteers with an inspirational photo exhibit, virtual tastings, and more. It's all happening now through March 22nd at St. Supéry, a Napa Valley community leader with a deep commitment to sustainability. They're celebrating using everyday heroes who make a difference in communities and neighborhoods across the country. During the 2020 wildfires, unasked, our neighbors showed up with bulldozers and shovels to cut fire breaks. We lost 98% of our crop, but they halted the fire's progression. We are celebrating these everyday heroes and those around the world who just show up to help, says Emma Swain, CEO of St. Supéry Estate Vineyards and Winery. You can nominate your own hero at stsupery.com/everydayheroes and view the inspiring photographs and stories at the winery and online. Los Angeles would like to thank the Academy for debuting its highly anticipated new motion picture museum on Wilshire Boulevard. LAeater.com says the Academy Museum of Motion Pictures' big new ground floor restaurant, Fanny's, has arrived for its moment of fame. While the full Fanny's experience has yet to hit the red carpet, the all-day space is now partially open for cafe basics, ranging from espresso drinks and pastries to salads, sandwiches, and natural wine. Eager museum goers and local diners can enter the cafe area of the restaurant from the patio that runs along Fairfax or from the lobby of the museum itself before ordering at the counter and snagging a seat. Dinner, which is set to debut later this fall, will have a much more cinematic flair, thanks to a service staff intent on throwing back to the golden age of American dining. That means tableside service, captains who float through the room in dinner jackets to oversee the experience, and bigger, richer cooking from Chef Raphael Francois, who carries a Michelin-level pedigree. South Lake Tahoe Now reports Mount Rose Ski Tahoe have announced plans are underway to expand the Lakeview area of the mountain to include additional ski terrain and a new high-speed chairlift. Estimated to be the largest capital improvement project in the resort's history, the new lift will be a key piece of Mount Rose's efforts to enhance the overall experience in the Lakeview Mountain Zone, which will include trail additions, existing trail improvements, and new skier traffic patterns. The expansion is estimated to cost upwards of $7.5 million and is expected to be completed ahead of the 2022-23 winter season. Mount Rose says for 41 years, the Lakeview Triple has provided access to incredible skiing and riding and expansive views of Lake Tahoe. When completed, the Lakeview zone of the mountain will offer even greater access to beginner, intermediate, and advanced terrain and help give skiers and riders of all ability levels more lift and more terrain options to enjoy. A Campbell company is making wine barrel dreams come true. This is from the Mercury News. On several hundred acres in Hollister, old wine barrels sit in the sun, the wood aging as the vintages they once contained did. People love the old rustic look, says Brian Preetz, founder of Barrel Dreams, whose headquarters are in Campbell. The Hollister Ranch is used to store the barrels. Preetz's company rents to use as cocktail tables at corporate events, weddings, and the like. Wine barrel events add a lot of unique character. They can also have entertainment value. At a Google corporate team building event, employees took off their shoes, got on the barrels, and stomped the grapes. There were thousands of people at that event. People said they were entertaining, fun, and that we made the party. We take old wine barrels and make benches, chairs, dog beds, bistro tables, and bar stools, he says. We make over 50 items out of these old wine barrels. Preetz purchases thousands of barrels at a time from vineyards that are rotating them out of service. He says barrels have a useful life of about 4 years when it comes to storing and aging wine. For more information, check out barreldreams.com. Thanks for checking out the California Stories podcast from My Wine Radio. Be sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss an episode. You can hear California Stories each hour following our 50-minute music sweeps at mywineradio.com. We'll see you next time on the California Stories podcast from My Wine Radio.